Right, this is Down One Ville. They were used to be known as TAW, the Art of War. They recently changed or had to change their name, so they're now known as Down One Ville. They're up against TSU, which is also short for The Strange Ankles. Now let's have a little glance through the picking of maps here. Higher seed, the highest finisher in the group stage, gets to pick the first map, and they are going for migration to begin with. Then we have the home map pick, first home map pick from Bidu, which would be Team Acropolis. Moving on, we're banning a couple of maps, so Maghreb is out of the question. Also Nomad. None of these teams seem to like Nomad starts. Leaving us with another pick, which is going to be Amazon Tunnel for TSU and Runestones for DOV. So they seem to be good all-round players, both naval and land players by the looks of it. Finally, a couple more bans to decide the neutral starting map. Hillfort has been particularly unpopular this season. It's barely been played, to my knowledge. And Golden Lakes seen some play, but not in this case. We are going to see Chaos Pit as the first map. And let's see if Down One will have done their homework, because TSU, they had some good performances for Chaos Pit, I have to say. They have their strategy sorted. Now for the draft for these potential 5 maps. Starting out with a couple of bans here, or 2 bans per team. Mongols and Britons. Runestone's ban. Possible Amazon Tunnel ban, perhaps. Koreans also good for Amazon Tunnel, and Persians out of the question as well. But it's going to be migration first, where I would expect to see Dravidians, as this is the only map, except for the little pool on Team Acropolis, to be involving naval play. Could see Lithuanians, although that's a good pocket for Runestones as well. I expect to see Italians, possibly Saracens, possibly Malay. So let's make a guess for Italians and Malay for migration here, and Dravidians of course as well. Whereas for TSU, Japanese, very likely. And then what's gonna be your pocket for migration? Bengalis perhaps, or is that a flag sieve? Let's say Japanese, Bengalis, Malians, just to be make a qualified guess here. And we're about to just hop right into the first game here. Oops, I think that was the wrong one. Doesn't really matter. Did reveal that we won't be seeing Italians for the for the first one. It's fine. Just my way of making sure that one game stays on top to limit the spoilers moving to the next ones. And I don't know why I was talking about migration, because it's obviously Chaos Pit for the first one. Yeah, good start. And you can already see the civilizations here, of course.
Yes.
Right, we need to set the team names here. This is 3-3 League. Here we go. Right, let's see what kind of civilizations they picked here. We have Midu in the pocket with the Franks here for Chaos Pit. Almost got a spot which would justify a double mill. Hello, Reaper. Thanks for joining. And thanks for watching. So Frank's harvest berry is like 15% faster or some such. Decent bonus when you have two berry patches like this. So these should be relatively easily defendable as well. They're close to the town center, the both of them. This house is kind of ruining things a little bit, but it should be okay. All in all. Left side, Mr. Fluffy Bunny with the Malians for this one. Saving some wood for the buildings as the game goes on. And Mr. Fluffy Bunny has been the designated, what should we say, lamer boy for the Chaos Pit matches for TSU. He's been chopping quickly and efficiently through the woodlines, and then move it over to the flank to wall them out from the middle section, and maybe drop a tower or something over here. And if he's able to, he'll also go to deny the wood of the pocket player as well. And this would involve some land aggression from his teammates as well to allow to delay the wood collection so that Mr. Fluffy Bunny can actually pull off these kind of walling out players kind of strategy, which we'll see if he goes for it this time around as well. With the Malians. Finally, Sicilians for Happy the Andy. Sicilians land units, is it? Take less damage from, or I mean melee units, scouts, infantry. Take less, or I should say archers maybe. Scouts and archers take less bonus damage from their designated counter units. So, don't remember the ratio right now, but it's still significant when fighting with scouts against spears. The spears will need to do at least another additional hit to take out the Sicilian scouts. So that could be a powerful opening here. We could be seeing donjons as well, because there is stone in the pit of Chaos Pit. But to access gold and to get to gold units, you need to chop through the woodlines on the edge here. Not the greatest lumber camp placement, but I guess Happy the Andy can work his way through these three trees to get to the gold to the sides here. It's a bit unfortunate maybe with having to scout quite a bit to get to the golds, but he should be fine. Right side flank for DOV. We have Reaper loses as the Incas. We'll see if he loses or not. That remains to be seen. Quite heavy on the Water Buffalo right now. 3 villagers chopping 1 tree. I didn't even know that was possible, but that's probably the new pathing and villager behavior helping out with that. So we'll see if that will pay off, or if they'll just keep bumping into each other, making things more awkward. In the pocket we have the Goth father, sadly not playing the Goths for this one, but he's playing the Bulgarians, which is also a good civilization for... Whoa! It is not the Sicilian scouts, this is indeed the Sicilians douche. So we're jumping right into the action here. Sicilians town centers construct 50% faster as well, or something like that. And this is going to catch the Godfather off guard for sure. He sees a couple of villagers, but there's no stopping this. Look at the construction speed of that one. Look at that. I mean, it's not like you usually deny town center drops anyway, but this is a strategy that's not too uncommon for Chaos Pit. If we're going to give Happy the Andy any criticism here, though, it would be that a couple of tiles further south, if he'd had, I guess he has scouted it as well, but he could have denied the berries as well. But he is for sure going to take out that TC. Unfortunately, the feudal age is going to kick in before that town center goes down for the Godfather, and that's also going to be, yeah, there we go, there are the repairs. So Happy the Andy knows what's happening now. He knows that the Godfather is indeed on the way to the feudal age, has to repair the town center to make sure he gets there, and then he'll resettle somewhere else with the town center, probably on the berries and stone, if I would guess, because then he would have stone to place defensive towers. Furthermore, we have Reaper with Incas on the right side flank. Incas giving a food bonus to their team with an instant free llama for each team player. Probably going to open something like spears and skirmishers here until he can get through to the middle, the edge, sorry. While Slaven with the poles is the only player in the pit here that has access to gold from the Dark Age, because Poles gather 33% gold for each stone they gather, so to speak. Looks like we have some kind of tower aggression initiative here, perhaps. Scouting leaves much to be desired here, but is found a woodline. And if you deny the villagers from chopping through to the edges, that means you consistently deny the gold access for the opposing team, or the opposing player as well. Like we're going to okay. So we're not redouching the Bulgarians here, we're just going straight for Slaven instead. Just in case anyone is going fast castle here, Happy the Andy is just going to make life miserable for the opponent. I think Slaven didn't see that. Slaven didn't see that coming, actually. Oh! I thought Happy the Andy had built it out of range there, but he's fine. He's fine. In the meantime, scouts from Midu with the Franks, no surprise there. Tower from Slaven, and some village area actually. So with the stone miners, you are going to mine gold eventually to get to the men-at-arms upgrade. It's short on food, not on gold for the upgrade here. Good reaction from Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Is committing a lot of villagers here to tear down this first tower. Could also use the same villagers to fight against the militia. It's going to be losses from both sides here by the looks of it. One villager lost for Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Going to be more than that. Going to lose another one. And the third one. Question mark. Question mark. That is one dangerously weak woman right there. Yeah, that's the 1 HP villager, and the Slaven, he found it. Midu joining in to help clear up these villagers. Still going to get some value against the Poles player here, but all in all, massive damage done by Slaven here. TSU still keeping up with the villager count. Oh, send the scouts. Send in the scouts. Not the clowns, but the scouts. The clowns will save for a different map. Spear unit here. Which means you have to commit to the spear at first. That's going to be another villager going down at least. So that's 2 villagers down for Slaven. Struggling with some idle town center time behind this, but not nearly as much as Happy the Andy, who keeps dropping those town centers. Which is more of an annoyance than anything. Decent chunk of scouts there. No, barely any scouts from the other players here. Bulgarian's player going for the scouts, not the men-at-arms, surprisingly. Could pull off 3 men-at-arms with the Bulgarians, but I guess from the pocket position, it's going to be scouts rather than infantry units. That's the idea. And another town center! Denying at least the town center of Slaven here, but not the farming economy. So again, the town center drop is a little bit underwhelming. Can we say that? I think that's the appropriate term. Not doing as much as they could have. There's stuff happening over here. Incas, all the way over at Midu's side from the pocket now. Could snipe some farms, perhaps. At least idle a lot of the economy here. Spears and archers. In the meantime, Happy the Andy has made it through to the woodlines in the back. They don't seem to care much for gold just yet, but they found 1 tile of gold over here, so they should be okay. Alright, Happy the Andy committing to some boxing fighting here. Wants to take out the Poles town center yet again here. I mean, he could re-drop another TC here, assuming the stone allows for it. And no, he spent all 300 starting stone now. But he's really taking out the wood income of Slaven as well, who is through over here, but is spending a lot of wood repairing the town center. And we'll probably rebuild it in the back here eventually. Somewhere. Maybe on the gold even. Just completely migrate to the side here. As Andy goes into a boxing fight now that there's no chance of garrisoning inside of any building here for Slaven, who might need to drop a gate here or something. He's desperate to collect wood for another town center. He can't afford another town center. This is actually massive damage from Happy and his town center drop here. In behind all this, we have Mr. Fluffy Bunny going to the Castle H. He's still not through, or is he? No, he's... Wait. Yeah, anyway. I have no idea how he chopped that one, but... Still not quite through to the other side. Wood count for Slaven. Still not where it needs to be to drop another DC. And this... Why the massive investment into stone? I'm confused. What's going on now? Does he want to go into tower defense behind all this? Does he want to tower drop the wood line of Mr. Fluffy Bunny? I have so many questions. Folwark about to go down as well. That's going to cost some population space, some precious population space for the red player. Here comes a market, wants to buy wood, most likely for the town center that it desperately needs to keep producing villagers. Stuck at 27 villagers now. Obviously no idle town center either, but not gonna get anywhere any further economy-wise without a town center. Sneaking two villagers up top here. Mr. Fluffy Bunny might see it because he has some vision over. He's seen it! He's sending a couple of villagers over. And Slaven tries to wall out the woodline. I think there's still one tile to pass through here. So that's not sealed. That's not sealed. That's not sealed. Period. Military lead big time for Dove, but and also economic lead behind all this. With that said, TSU has Mr. Fluffy Bunny in the castle age, but does he have the economy to do anything at all? He doesn't really have any gold. Doesn't really have much to resources to use to his advantage for the castle age here. The situation that might be the same for Reaper and Godfather as well. They're entering the castle age with barely any resources to spend. Some stray scouts from the feudal age here, but Mr. Fluffy Bunny has the means to deal with those as well by the looks of it. Triple stables for Midu, as he's got 1 minute to go to enter the castle age here. Obviously this RV is easily cleaned up with a few Frank's Knights. Bloodlines coming in for the Godfather. Also preparing for at least double stables, I would say. Bloodlines on the way in, going to match the hit points of the Frank's cavalry units once that next age kicks in. And we have a boxing fight again here. Mr. Fluffy Bunny with the villagers fighting off scouts with full village upgrades except for Bloodlines. So if Bloodlines had been in here, that would be a much worse fight for Mr. Fluffy Bunny. But yeah, gets to take out a couple of the stray scouts from the feudal age. That's positive, I guess. 5 men at arms total as well. Long term, thinking about the Malian longswords, perhaps. Doesn't seem to care too much about Towns Under Fire here. The Malians now +2 pierce armor in the castle age because of their civilization bonus. So takes actually quite a few town center volleys to take out these men at arms. So, Bidu with the Frank's Knights now out and about, going to chase some Inca's crossbows here, but how's that gonna work out? The crossbows got Bodkin arrow in, have not at all reached dangerous mass, but with the castle popping up for Reaper, that means that Kamayuk are an option. And they are, what should we say, a Castle Age Halberdier in many ways. They have one range and pretty decent melee attack and defense stats. So, military lead still there for DOV, for Dov. Taking out some villagers as well. Husbandry coming in for the knights for extra movement speed. Well-placed Bulgarians castle in the back here as well, but not well enough to keep the Franks knights out as Midu moves out to try and deny Townsend there. Might get there just in time, but the quick wall action is on point for the Godfather. He keeps the knights away from the outside villagers and manages to get the town center up. And the group of crossbows still alive, looking for kills here. It's becoming more and more of a knight's crossbow combination here from the DOV. And the Poles probably going to make cavalry as well. They'd also have the option of making Obuk from their castle if they get one up to deal with any opponent halberdiers. Or just to have a high damage output melee unit to deal with buildings as well. I don't know what Mr. Fluffy Bunny is doing with villagers all over here, but that knight apparently refuses to attack. Nope. No peace treaty. These are gone, to say the least. So look at the KD. Decently positive, at least for the Franks. Say for the Franks, yeah, Midu with a positive KD here, but also struggling at home with idle housing time, idle economy, and as a result, a lack of resources to keep producing the knights. The food count is very low currently because of the farms not working at all. Here comes the Poles castle, right in the face of Happy the Andy's third feudal HTC is able to get to the castle age, but now completely evacuating here. Has been collecting stones, so he could actually counter castle this if he wanted to. But I think Happy the Andy has other plans. He's going to I don't know where he's going, but he went right into a massive group of crossbows here, so that's not exactly ideal for our blue friend. He's going to lose his town center over here. He keeps making villagers, but he's going to keep losing them as well as he gets chased by these crossbows. In attempted castle drop by the Godfather, but he's up against Sicilian's villagers here that could easily counter a forward castle drop from the Bulgarians. Also losing to the Franks knights over here. So TSU, all things considered, still in the game. They're behind the economy, behind the military, but they have some presence to the sides. They decided not to wall off for now, which might be a mistake as we move on. I don't know where Happy the Andy is going with these guys, but he's probably looking for a safe spot to reboom with the Sicilians, or just move all the way around for a castle drop on this side, which could also be an option. But there is a scout here. The Godfather is tracking the blue villagers and wondering what the heck is going on over here. Yeah, losing one villager there. And no army even close here for the Godfather, so Happy Dandy is going to get away with these villagers. And Sicilian's town centers construct in and 50% faster, so they'll be fine. I don't know where they're going. Maybe they just want to move all the way over here and drop a castle somewhere. That is a long walk, though. Look at the worker efficiency at 0. 20% worker efficiency overall for Happy Dandy. Not nearly enough Frank's Knights here to deal with the forward crossbows and armies, unfortunately. As Mr. Fluffy Bunny, I mixes in some camels as well, but the camels will never withstand the power of the 30-ish crossbows in the middle here. Obuk been added as well. And all 3 armies collected here to make sure this castle goes up. So Dov, they're committing to middle control now. They've already walled off the left-hand side. They could wall off the right-hand side as well. For Reaper loses. One thing is for sure, though, is that they're forcing Mr. Fluffy Bunny to flee the area, and he's already attempting the reboom in the back of the base over here. Military situation looking well in favor of Dov at this point, though. So they've been defending well against the early aggression here on Chaos Pit. Transporting villagers away in ramps. Not sure if that's the most efficient way to move them away, but I guess that was to keep them safe from crossbow fire. Right. And there's the castle from Happy Dandy. It's 5 villagers building it. 9 villagers for now for Reaper loses, but he sends more villagers forward, and Happy Dandy bails on the castle. Realizes that there are just too many villagers here to make that happen, and goes for a castle further in the back as well. This castle is going up. No matter what. That's at least what Happy Dandy wants, but let's see if just a few Kambayuks could stop that, because the Kambayuks have 1 range, so you can't really even quick wall in the villagers against Kambayuk. So we need a Kambayuk to deny this castle at this point, because the quick walls aren't really... even a tower from Reaper would work over here, but he doesn't seem to care all that much. Doesn't really hit the economy. Maybe it's fine the way it is. Defensive castle from Happy Dandy on this side as well. Acting as a kind of like a wall as well, forcing the units to move around, but the Obuk will find at least some of the villagers over here. And since Murder Holes probably isn't in, you could also just camp the foundation of the castle and slowly take it out with the melee units alone. Happy Dandy down to 39 villagers. I'm not sure if he even has a... Yeah, he has a couple of town centers. He's producing villagers out of both. This castle completes. It's not really contributing that much. It's just been moving around all the way to the backside here, as the Obuk are doing work. And the Bulgarians cavalry deal with the siege weapons here. Where does TSU go from here? They're 60 or 70 villagers behind by now, and they can't seem to bring anything to keep the aggression away here. Jeez, these Obuk really doing work. They've killed 14 units by now, and they've taken out buildings as well. And there it is. Maybe, unsurprisingly, Dov take the first game here, defending the douches of Happy Dandy, which certainly set back a couple of the players quite a bit. But as you can see, Reaper is on the way to the Imperial Age here as well. And that would just be the death blow of any castle drops around the map from Happy Dandy. Let's make a browse through of the stats. and then see what the next game brings, which will be the first home map of TSU. Likely Amazon Tunnel, remains to be seen. Still pretty decent KD for Mido over here, 107 to 78. Village time of Happy Andy, 27-11. Certainly providing the entertainment, at least. In the end, very good economy for the Golf Father with the Bulgarians as well. Now let's get to the drafts. I guess we just check Chaos Pit as played. We'll make sure to tick off the civilizations used as well. Poles, Bulgarians, and Incas against Franks. Malians and Sicilians, the very last pick of Midus team. Second map, okay, it could be Team Acropolis. We'll see how they prioritize their home maps. Game 2 on Amazon Tunnel. And since we're loading the game from here, we can already see the civilizations. So no need to speculate on those. Shouldn't be any huge surprises here either. Have a look, good fun, says Mr. Fluffy Bunny. As we'll start with the Godfather, not playing the Goths for this one either. SMH. He's playing the Teutons. Go to pick for this map for sure. As we already see some Palisade Foundations planning to go up here in the middle. Having to fight off some wildlife on the way. Dega with the Turks in the pocket position, as far as pocket goes on this map. Maybe not of too much relevance. And Reaper with the Khmer for this one. Ballista Elephants could cut through in the Castle Age. Not too commonly seen, but it's an option. Not very offensive walls from TSU here, I have to say. They are going to have to rely on their own defensive capabilities here and give up control of some relics to rather get those early walls up and try to get a head start to the boom over the other team and get to an earlier Imperial Age perhaps. They are with Spanish, Bohemians and Bengalis, so all powerful late game civilizations. That goes for most of these civilizations, to be honest. Turks, instant chemistry, don't need to research chemistry to get access to the gunpowder weapons and buildings, which means that if they have a university, they can research Bombard Tower immediately once they reach the Imperial Age. And bombard cannons and hand cannoneers can also be created instantly. This wall secures 3 relics for TSU though, so it's not all that bad. Looks like Dove don't even bother walling just yet. Probably expecting TSU to be doing it, but at the very least they might want to consider to move out just to see what's going on. But I'd assume that they haven't researched Loom, any of them. So they are effectively ahead in economy, which could be an advantage in progressing through the ages here. Well, That's the first for Amazon Tunnel. The wall going up uncontested here for TSU. That's still no, if not even an attempt to find a place to wall off for Dago the Turks here. This would be, I guess there are some wolves or jaguars, tigers in this case, in the way here. But I mean, this setup would actually, I would, if I were Mr. Fluffy Bunny now, I would honestly try to move the villager over and sneak, because there's no contest for the middle area at all at this point. With that said, there's not going to be much happening until at least the feudal age here. We'll have a look at the progression through the ages here. Mr. Fluffy Bunny managing to lame a couple of llamas here before losing the starting scouts. So again, that's value, I guess. Mad kills. Man, the myth, the legend. That's me, I guess. As we are casting Amazon Tunnel here, trying to fast forward it a little bit. Yeah, I missed a will kill, that's true. It's hardly of significance, especially since we saw the scouts fight. Mr. Fluffy Bunny losing one. TSU comfortably ahead, but that's because DOV are actually seemingly committing to the feudal age here. So I guess they'll try to make some forward aggression, some towers here to break through. Right, okay, let's slow it down a bit now. All three starting scouts of DOV here now. No builders forward to make any ranged units or some such here, as Mr. Fluffy Bunny has the villager on the wrong side here now. Don't think that was intended. It's going to lose another villager needlessly now. And with the feudal ages not quite in yet for TSU, there should still be a window of opportunity here for DOV to break through, but double layers of palisades, and that's for sure going to become stone walls behind here later as well. Clock is definitely ticking for DOV to get through here, as only one of the players are producing army. It's scouts from the Godfather. We desperately need some kind of ranged initiative forward here, and that's going to be a tower from Dago. This is playing right into TSU hands, if you ask me, because they've had one player walling it off, while the other players just take their good old time to get to the feudal age at a comfortable population, like 24, 25 population. Setting up for a straight fast castle there. They're going to have a massive lead over Dov going into the next stage. Looks like a super fast Khmer castle age though, so that could be significant here. So the tower will complete. This means that Mr. Fluffy Bunny will have to attempt the walling further behind now. Probably gonna see stone walls once the feudal age kicks in. There we go. Will he be able to complete them in time though? Look at the gate over here. There's no villagers here to repair this one. And there are 3 starting scouts of DOV here now to run through that gate and deny these walls before they can complete. In fact, there are more scouts, because there are 5 scouts total from the Godfather, and now suddenly the feudal age, extended feudal age opening from Dov is looking a lot more promising. Yes, there are stone gates going up here, or are they palisade? No, stone gates. But as long as the foundations don't complete, they are very fragile to melee attack, especially. And there are archers here to deny rewalling from behind. 6 scouts now from the Teuton's player. The Godfather is committing to the feudal age now, as another layer of stone walls is attempted by TSU. Is this going to be a quick 2-0 for Dov? They're in. And the castle age is in for Reaper with the Khmer. It's just going to Omega boom with the Khmer here with their farms that don't need any drop-off points. They'll bring in food at a quick pace here. One archer dangerously alone here, but taking Midu of stone over here. Yet another villager. The eco situation is snowballing into Dobbs' hands now. They still have 2 players in the field late show, whereas TSU only has Mr. Fluffy Bunny not having kicked up yet. And yeah, more villagers gonna go down here for sure. Do they have loom? They don't have loom! They don't have loom! So they are increasingly at risk of dying to the scouts here. Where is that loom research, Midu? Where is loom? I guess you could research supremacy as well, but that's for later with the Spanish. They're not that tanky yet. And they don't have loom. I wonder if Dobbs see that there's no loom on the teal villagers. That could be devastating. If the scouts get in here, especially if the scouts get the defense upgrade and preferably bloodlines as well, the damage output is going to be massive. Another villager going on. They must have spotted now that there's no loom. Where's loom? Where loom? Doesn't he have gold for it? What's going on there? He has the gold. Midu lost 6 villagers so far. He's off gold. He's at risk of losing villagers to archers from this angle as well. And at the same time, there's some Bohemian spears randomly moving to the right-hand side as well. Looks like the stone walls will finally complete though, and there's no villagers on this side of the wall for... Bah, just kidding, that's Dobbs walls, not TSU. I'm messing up the colors here. So yeah, oops. TSU now completely enclosed by Dobbs walls and forces here. Spanish castles construct quickly, so I don't think there's any denying this one, but at what cost for me? They lost 7 villagers thus far. Probably has conquistadors in mind then, which admittedly will be able to clean up the armies currently moving about, but behind all of this aggression... okay, sure, why not? Behind all of this aggression, Dov have successfully walled forward here, and they will be able to collect all of their relics. Maybe, preferably for the Turks player, arguably the player the most dependent upon gold. No loom for green either. Happy the Andy, at the risk of losing lots of villagers here now. These guys are not afraid of taking huge losses by the looks of it. Did he just complete it? No, still no loom. Does Teal have loom? Teal does not have loom. TSU are determined to win this game without loom, and it's costing them big time here. They could have lost a lot more, to be honest. All things considered, they are heavily behind in economy though, because of the villager losses mostly. All of TSU now in the castle age. Scouts just roaming about, still looking for further damage. The only player who has loom is Mr. Fluffy Bunny, and he has loom because he went out nice and early to wall. It's also a way to lose the rest of your feudal age army. Do a mangonel shot. $25 villagers lead for Dov by now. Last player, the Turks player, now approaching the cast age resources. Yeah, it's not going to be a fast imperial age for the Turks here. Maybe going to commit to some town centers as well. Has to wood and stone for at least another 2 town centers. Managed to get the archers hidden over here, so that could be a group of crossbows dealing some proper damage over here as well. If the timing is right, then Happy the Andy's town center could be efficiently denied over here. Stega forgotten about this army over here. If there's ever any time to move out, it's now. Because Happy Dandy still doesn't have any loom. Doesn't seem to care all that much about it. 4 town centers for Mr. Fluffy Bunny, going to be 3 town centers for the Spanish, 3 town centers for Happy Dandy as well. And the town center is going to complete. With the crossbows just idly standing by, not wanting to do anything over here. Will we see another player or walls? Still no relics collected. As TSU have broken through and they are adding the counter-attack now. Still, I was going to say still no walls for DOV at home, but they are placing the stone walls at home. Missed opportunity to freely collect all the relics now. Happy Dandy is going to snag at least a few of them, which means less bonus gold for the Turks as this game progresses. Slur numbers increasing here. Army numbers for DOV, we have the Khmer player reproduces now going for the Imperial Age, which is well ahead of everyone here. Has been mining stone perhaps for a castle, presumably going up relatively far forward for the Khmer, would allow the Khmer to push with trebuchets as well. Huge mass of army now moving in for DOV. Another wave of crossbows from the Turks as well. Stuck in the castle age for yellow and purple here, but now battle elephants for Reaper here. I'm not too comfortable with that choice given the monastery is already up. We could be getting some conversions in. We could even see missionaries added by the Spanish to effectively convert small numbers of elephants as well, but they are tanky units. So if you get to a proper mass, it's still going to be hard to stop with Castle Age armies. Dove also managed to keep the villager lead they established earlier in the game. They're now at roughly 20 villagers lead with 1 player in the Imperial Age. And basically fully boomed over here. As a wave of villager moves forward along with the battle elephants to drop that forward castle. Imperial Age kick may be coming in from Mr. Fluffy Bunny soon as well. But I don't think that's that much of a concern for the OV now. Claiming the hill in the middle here. Crossbows, good reaction to the Conquistadors as well. There's a good counter unit in the Imperial Age. They do get Bracer, but Turks don't get Arbalest. But they outrange the Conquistadors and they are, generally speaking, more accurate, so they'll trade decently here. I think they've revealed the elephants at this point, so TSU's reaction should be to add some more monks. They can see the elephants. Don't really think they have any other good means to deal with battle elephants now, so they need to think about that for sure. As a pretty decent group of Teuton's knights roam around the backside here. Teutons don't think they get access to husbandry, so they move a bit slower than generic cavalry, but will still do decent as a raiding unit, of course. Now just waiting for the +2 defense, and the group is almost large enough to justify taking out town centers as well. The defensive castles should be staying up for very long, because DOV already has a couple of trebuchets out. Now needs to drop a few more houses here, Reaper, to keep producing them, but there's still 2 trebuchets, and forcing Midu to repair the one and only castle here, which is costly with the stone and means that no more Spanish won't be adding any more castles anytime soon, which means that the conquistador production will be limited as well. Well, there are 2 castles to be fair, but one about to go down here as another trebuchet pops out shortly. Yeah, that castle is history for Midu. Only at 65 villagers as well, so Midu's economy is particularly exposed here. 3 trebuchets now, a 4th one on the way for Reaper loses, and with the Imperial Age on the way for the rest of Dov, they are set for a good second game here as well on Amazon Tunnel. 1 conversion won't be of much concern for Dov, obviously, with all these elephants out and about. I guess the Teuton's team bonus helps out as well with the conversion resistance. So that's a smart combination. Quer elephants and Teuton's team bonus seems to work out very nicely. And a beautiful forward castle from Reaper here that is going to cover the trebuchets so they can take out the outer Spanish castle here. And they're also denying the stone income of Midu. Looks like the wave of Teuton's knights have gone down, but there's another chunk of them moving in now. Now getting the Imperial Age upgrades and Cavalier upgrade coming in as well. Vietnamese battle elephants joining in as well, and the remaining conquistadors doing their best to keep the armies away. But again, like the previous game, Dov with a comfortable military lead now and keep pushing further and further into the core economy of TSU. And TSU on a close map like this, they don't really have any means of counter-attack either, except for maybe on-the-ground cutting through the woodlands, and that's not really an option at this point. Elite Battle Elephant is in, that's more than you can say about the relatively recently Imperial Age Mr. Fluffy Bunny. So, massively better upgrades for the Khmer overall here. Halberdier coming in for Happy Dandy. Bohemians Halberdier, they have more bonus damage as well, do they not? So there's that. Have to excuse the lag, that would be the laptop stream and hotel internet getting in the way for me, but doing the best I can. Battle Elephants versus Elite Battle Elephants. Halberdier masses increasing for Happy Andy here, but don't think it's going to reach large enough mass in time here, as the Turks Imperial Age units are entering the field as well. Bombard cannons popping in here, hand cannoneers, which is perfect against the Halberdier addition of Happy Andy. Score not looking very promising for TSU here. They are taking heavy losses, and Midu is basically erased from existence here, except for still having some villagers on the field. 69 villagers, 9 military for Midu. So Happy Dandy being the next target. Bomber cannons and trebuchets taking out the production capabilities. Low but deadly push happening here. It's essentially a 3 vs 2 situation here now. Kmur arguably with kind of an overboom here. Might not need all these villagers anymore, but if you look at the economic situation here, it's well in favor of Dov here. ESU not ready to give up yet though. They're still feeling military here, except for Midu, who needs to find somewhere to re-boom perhaps. That's just a Whistler, not a builder. So not going to see any army from Midu for a while yet. Isildur's doing some work here, but that's again that's elite battle elephant against generic cast age battle elephants here from Mr. Fluffy Bunny, maybe except for the attack and defense upgrades. I don't really see Mr. Fluffy Bunny affording the elite upgrade anytime soon either. There it is. That's the second game for Dov so far in this set, the best of 5. GG well played, taking the first home map of TSU. And with a match point already heading into game number 3, which will be on the second home map of TSU, which I believe was... Yeah, what was that? We'll have to get back to it. Massive Khmer boom there. I guess they barely lost any villagers this game. One villager lost for the Godfather, that's all. Probably a forward villager. Making something there. Right, back to the map draft. Amazon Tunnel going down. Team Acropolis coming up next. So we'll need to make sure to show that the winning civilizations here were Khmer, Teutons, and not Celts, surprisingly enough, but another good one for those maps in the Turks. So losing civilization Bohemians, first pick here going down, as well as the Bengalis and the Spanish. Alright, hopping into game 3. Would be Team Acropolis. A map, of course, heavily favoring good mobility options. Right, here we have Team Acropolis. We have Cumans for the Godfather. Might want to attempt an early feudal age with a second town center here to secure some of the middle for a better wood line, and then possibly move into a faster and stronger imperial age with a 2 town center boom in the back. It depends. Cumans also have cheaper stables and archery ranges, which would help their aggression. in the feudal age as well, in their extended feudal age. In the pocket position, we have Slaven with the Saracens, famous for their market trading bonuses, where you can sell and buy resources at a better ratio than or rates than other civilizations currently around. Mamelukes from the castle's unique unit, beastly when massed in elite with their appropriate upgrades, but also got good choices in, for example, the archers into crossbows into arbalest line, where the Saracens team bonus provides a bonus damage against buildings. And finally, Arion as the Portuguese here in the purple. Bit more of an off pick for Team Acropolis in my opinion. Would have maybe suited migration better. But Portuguese still got strengths both on land and water. They have 20% discount on any gold costing unit. So it would be easier for them to go triple archery range earlier on than most other civilizations. Maybe even in the late feudal age instead of castle age like most civilizations do. Organ guns from the castle could come into play as well if they're going far forward with forward castles and aggression in that way. Let's have a look at TSU. We have Mr. Fluffy Bunny with the Hindustanis for this one. Very, very likely going to open with the scouts, as the Hindustanis team bonus gives the scouts and camels extra bonus damage against buildings as well. Imperial camels for the Hindustanis. Probably one of the strongest cavalry counters in the game, especially as far as mobility goes, so they're going to do well against humans paladins here if it goes to the very late game. In the pocket position we have Midu as the Burmese. Arambai comes to mind, benefiting from party and tactics now. But also the battle elephants could see play for the Burmese. They have some obvious strengths, and not to mention the monks to convert enemy units and collect relics and whatnot. Burmese civilization bonus also revealing all of the relics evenly spread across the middle layers. It's like a fair relics distribution. Nothing hidden in the back of the other player's base or something like that. Saves the villager. Good save. Happy the Andy with the Huns. Also a good one for this map, especially if Mongols are banned or already used, but they are banned for this set. So Huns are a safe pick. They could go Cavalry Archers, because the Cavalry Archers for the Huns produce or are 25% cheaper. But they also have fully upgraded Paladins, and as a team bonus a 20% faster working stable, which boosts the Hindustanis scouts and camels production as well, of course. See the feudal age already on the way for the Huns here. Happy the Andy with the faster production will be able to keep up nicely with the opposing team here. Godfather up earlier, but that's probably going to be the second town center. Could be seeing scouts from Slaven as well. But it all remains to be seen. It's probably going to be the archers, I guess, from the Saracens. Just a few seconds away now. We'll see what the investment is. Nothing. Ah, one on gold. Okay. Is indeed an archery range, which means we'll probably see a market as well to trade. Maybe sell 100 stone to boost the gold income a little bit for further archers production. Two villagers building the range, speeding things up a bit, and now on the woodline, the second town center for the Godfather. Constructing it only with 6 villagers though, which is going to take pretty long time compared to generic town centers. Let's have a look at Happy on this side here. Now dropping the stable. We should also be seeing the... actually, will we be seeing any stable at all here? No barracks from the Cumans, just double ranges from Dove. Could still do a lot with archers here, but if TSU suddenly decide to go for some crazy shit like double stable or double scouts from their players now, then the small amounts of archers would struggle for Dove, because they don't have any any scout support, no, at least not yet. The Godfather should be able to drop a barracks and a stable here if he wants to commit to scouts in addition to the feudal age economic investment here. That's Happy Andy dives in for the first kill. Blacksmith's coming up for the Burmese stable as well. So it is indeed the double scouts for TSU. I'm kind of liking that, as we barely have any scouts on the field for Dob, so the mobility and also that extra bonus damage against buildings for TSU could do massive damage here because they don't have any opponent scouts to worry about. Godfather is just full-on 2,000 centers booming here, so he's not going to be dangerous for a good while yet, and he could also be obstructed by the flood of scouts that's about to enter their bases here with a total of 8, soon to be 8 scouts here, forging in from Vidu as well, so it makes it easier to take out villagers as well. Home base not at all walled here for Dov just yet, so that means villagers are going to go down and the walls are going to be delayed and denied as well. Yes, there is a wave of archers moving out for both of the players here, but barely any spearmen to support those. So especially if TSU get defense for their scouts here, then the feudal age archers are not that much of a threat. But they need to track the army still, or they need to know that the archers are coming. Otherwise they could be caught off guard and lose villagers needlessly on their core resources at home. Scouts aggression is buying the time to wall off at home. And the scouting of Dov isn't all that impressive either. Right. Sees the walls, turns around. Still not fully walled. So there needs to be more efficient scouting here. I think they're basically just assuming that there are walls going up on this side now. But it's not the case. They do have the Saracens bonus. They break through walls more quickly. But as mentioned, now with the scouts and with the attack upgrade in and no spearmen to support here, Midu is just going to make quick work of most of these archers. And Mr. Fluffy Bunny, now being in the next age, moves right out to secure woodland to the top side. Scouts still roaming around on Dov's base. They're fully committed to the feudal age, while TSU has at least one player in the cast age. And looks like Mr. Fluffy Bunny is going to commit to the boom ahead of military production here. I don't think that's a bad idea. They've already established a lead TSU here. Yes, they are seemingly behind the villagers, but that's going to change quickly once Mr. Fluffy Bunny gets the triple town centers producing. Quick walls I missed there, but looks like the villager went down regardless. Scouts still alive from both sides. They could coordinate and work together as well. Quick walls, even harder to pull off when you're up against the bonus damage of the Hindustani's team bonus. David making use of just one stray archery to scout for some expansion here, but is essentially scouting the wrong area. Could maybe find some damage on the woodline here on Happy Andy, but it's the other side where the expansion is happening, so that's where we need to be ready to engage. Defense upgrade helping Happy Andy out there. Not that much damage done, all things considered, but Mr. Fluffy Bunny has successfully gotten the boom started, and Dov still have yet to click up. The Portuguese player will be clicking up first here. just now get Castle Age. At the same time as Happy Dandy, who will follow up with the archery ranges and the cheaper Hunnic Cavalry Archer, which would be a massive pain for Dov as the game progresses. Because they don't really have anything to deal with Cavalry Archer spam just yet. The archers aren't nearly fast enough to keep up with the Cavalry Archer mobility. So they might need something else to react to that. Other paper archers here, if they stay alive until the next age here, Happy Andy could upgrade them to light cab as well for further damage potential. But it's got 1 minute to go for the Gas Age, chooses not to engage further and run away from the archers. Probably wisely so, as well as that group of 12 archers would be quickly dealing with a smaller group of scouts like that. Still being annoying in the back there from Midu as well. Great scouts aggression once again, just idling some economy of Dov. Oh, wait for the Gas Age as well. Bloodlines coming in, Light Cap coming in as well, because Happy Andy has 8 scouts left alive. Mr. Fluffy Bunny instantly with the castle, wants to protect the top hill here. Could also go into Gulams, if need be, with the Hindustanis here, to deal with the Archer's Mass of Dove. That might be the thinking here, actually, with that quick of a castle for Mr. Fluffy Bunny. And I suppose if the Light Cap and the Scouts work together here from TSU, they could also clean up this group of crossbows, because there's no Spearmen or Cavalry units in the mix here. Castle Age still 30 seconds away for Slaven as well with the Saracens. Quadruple stables from the Cuman, so that could be a concern for TSU. And untouched, or nearly untouched, Cuman's boom. Only lost 1 villager there, so comfortably ahead in the booming contest. Great pick off by Happy Andy here on the yellow archers here as the Castle Age just kick in. He knows that Bodkin and crossbow won't be in yet, as the ranged units stay closely together here for Dov, but the Cavalry Archers also quickly producing for Happy Andy, so going to reach a critical mass if this keeps up and doesn't get contested by Dov, and that's ideal for this map because the Acropolis is on either side, giving you the potential to pull back and use your elevation advantage. Gulams in the making will obviously need more than 3 to deal with this, but running right into Castfire also hurts Dov's crossbow armies here. A total of 28 crossbows here. Not that deadly just yet, but they are staying together for good reasons, preserving the numbers and making it easier for themselves to take out cavalry masses. 6 Gulams, barely any upgrades. That's not going to be enough here to deal with the crossbows, I think. They're strong against range units, but not that strong. And suddenly Mr. Fluffy Bunny might be looking at some villager losses here. No ballistics yet, but if the crossbows are close enough, they'll still get some decent hits in. We see the Burmese cavalry joining in as well, plus 2 defenses in for those. This should be a cleanup for the Burmese cavalry. Gulams joining in as well. Yes, there's some cavalry meddling in here as well, which means that the Gulams will have to be careful, but Midu has better upgrades and could be looking at a decent fight here. Nah, it's just too much from Dodd here. We're getting the better engagement for this one. Gulams doing some work. Wait. Who got the better trade here? I mean, all of the crossbows go down. That means that crossbow snowball is far from happening for Dov at this point. Second home back for TSU this one. And their plan seems to be working out as they intended it to. They're trying to secure a trade route as well, limiting the mobility to the sides with the stone walls and some house foundations here. Long term thinking about trading in the corners for extended gold access. That's usually vaults you'd love to see in the full middle of the map or just outside of the pond here, but anything that can limit the mobility of the human armies here is good for TSU.
Yes.
Here we go. Shouts the Godfather in capital letters. He's facing some aggression from the cavalry archers of Happy Dandy now. 25 in the numbers, not currently producing anymore. He's committed more for the economy here, or you'll want to get to heavy cavalry archers eventually as well. First make the mass, of course, and then get to the heavy upgrade. He's splitting up the armies exactly as you should be doing with the cavalry archers. No husbandry by the looks of it, so the camels will have a relatively easy time catching up here. But still, great damage from Happy Dandy. Managed to snipe 9 villagers already.
Oh.
5 stables for humans, only 2 for Midu, but Midu somehow keeping up for the time being. Facing a little bit of aggression here. Good castle, again securing the middle now for Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Doubling the potential of Gulams and Imperial Age on the way. 104 villagers for Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Setting up potentially for heavy camels and Imperial camels against the humans' Castle Age armies here. I can see heavy camels and Imperial camels doing very well with the army mass currently on the field, because if you get to Imperial camels and plate guarding armor, which I get to, yeah, you get, then you'll withstand crossbow fire decently as well, and they won't be going Imperial Age anytime soon. So this is, don't necessarily think Mr. Fluffy should keep committing to Gulams now. I don't think he should be thinking about that camel transition to help deal with humans' masses here. But of course he can't know for sure that he's this comfortably ahead to the Imperial Age. Only one player to the Imperial Age now, and that's Mr. Fluffy Bunny. See how 3 Gulams deal with 19 crossbows. Not that well, but Midu is here with the knights as well. Might even get the surround here. Crossbows trying to find the choke point, but again, the crossbow mass of Dove going down to the cavalry of TSU here. Yes, Dove almost keeping up with the economy here, and they do have larger military mass, but Imperial Age for Mr. Fluffy Bunny could quickly change that if it goes into the camels here, as I say. These Gulam might even be an option, but I'd definitely rather see a camel's investment here, given the mass amount of humans cavalry out on the field. Which Midu is keeping quite decently up with here. Some step lancers mixed in, but the Godfather does have a lot of cavalry, but they've spread out around the map, not really doing that much currently. And then Happy Andy again doing a great job at raiding the Godfather and distracting his attention away from this fight, probably. all of the knights now following just a few of the Cuban's cavalry units over here. I'm not too sure about that. More castles going up in the middle. Once again securing the area for potential trade from the corners here. Great forward thinking by TSU here on their home map after all. Now cleaning up the raiding forces and are ready to re-engage. There's the camels from the Hindustanis. Heavy camel is now in. The numbers aren't quite there yet, but still got a healthy start to the head start to the Imperial Age compared to Dov here. It just is still in the Castle Age, but feeling lots of cavalry as well, actually keeping up with the arguably stronger economy Cubans here. Cavalry archers, 16 kills so far, 11 eco units and 5 military units. I wonder if they've scouted the back over here, these cavalry archers, if they know that something's going on in the back here. Massive farming economy. Well covered by town centers though, so maybe not something you'd try to contest with the armies at this point. So Mr. Fluffy Buddy not really feeling enough military here. Might be because of the economy. Has made some more gulams. Actually gone for the elite gulam here. But elite gulams are, at least on paper, they are weak to cavalry units. Oh, and a great surround by the Godfather over here. He's going to take out some of Happy and his armies. Like moving in slow motion here, but that's just limitations of my laptop currently, unfortunately. Some knights trying to diminish the crossbow numbers again. Where are the elite gulabs for this one? They're staying close to home for now, on the defensive. But more stone walls going up. Mr. Fluffy Bunny has done his part here. Placed the markets in the corners as well. That's more than you can say about Dov. So the consistent gold access is going to last DSU a lot longer than their opponents here. So is Andy going to wall this side? Is that the plan? Wall here, and suddenly there's very little room or very little space for Dov to enter and to raid.
What's that?
Let's see if this helps at least a little bit. Maybe. With the archers at it again, happily and with 33 eco kills. And these gulams against the crossbow mass here now. How's that gonna work out? There is quite a chunk of Cuban's cavalry, but they still... Oh, they're about to become cavaliers actually, so that could be a major issue here. 40 seconds to go for Imperial Age from Bidu, so not going to see those Burmese cavaliers just yet. Gulams obviously not struggling against crossbow fire, but you can't have the knights catching up with these guys either. They are
Orders.
especially weak to cavalry, according to the tech tree anyway. Happily Andy with heavy cavalry archers now, getting to the deadly masses with almost 50 of them and counting. They are cheaper for the Huns as well. Huns not only lacking the last attack upgrade. Coming here, clutch timing for Andy. He's fighting uphill, but as they push the armies further behind, that's going to play into Andy's hands here as he has the large group of Hundic cavalry archers here to just obliterate this army from existence. Yes, the army numbers looking relatively similar for now, but DSU have started trading. They have much more eco units overall, almost 100 equally at this point, and because of this fight they've also established a military lead. So looking good for TSU's Team Acropolis home map now. The GG is called, first win for TSU. Let's have a look at the statistics and move on to the next one. 110 to 33 for Happy Andy here. Having his first properly good game so far this set maybe. Was messing around a little bit with 1000 drops on Chaos Pit, but he didn't do enough damage for his teammates to close out the map, and Amazon Tunnel also didn't really work out as planned for TSU. Identical uptimes there for the Saracens and the humans. 18 population feudal, I believe. So again, let's cross out the map and the civilizations team. Acropolis. First game won for Medus side. No Magyars for Team Acropolis, surprisingly enough. Maybe they're trying some mind games with the drafts here. But Portuguese, Saracens and humans against... What did they just do? Portuguese, Saracens and humans against Huns, Portuguese and Hindustanis. First home map of Down One Bill. Is it going to be Runestones or Migration? Let's have a look. And since Runestones was the first pick, that's probably going to be the first one. In which case we'll see Magyar's pocket, perhaps, and then Ethiopians and what for the flank? I mean, I need these guys on the naval maps as well. Magyars, Ethiopians, Italians then maybe. Whereas it's going to be Mayans for sure. For the Strange Uncles. Possibly Slav's pocket and Vietnamese flank. We'll see. They've been surprising us with the Civ picks so far, so let's have a look. Game 4. It's not the Runestones after all, it's my migration first. Hello, Mr. Fluffy Bunny. So that changes the Civ picks, obviously. Lithuanians, Italians, Dravidians, Slavs, Byzantines, Vikings for this one. While they are getting the... See if that helps a little bit with the flow of things. Migration it is. We've already introduced the civilizations, but let's have a closer look. Slaven with the Italians. Cheaper fishing ships makes for a good fishing economy, especially helpful on migration where you are absolutely dependent upon the shore fish and the deep fish to get the food income quickly enough to kick up at a reasonable time. There aren't any boars on migration. There are 4 deer. And obviously your somewhat standard sheep. I don't remember how many exactly. I think it's 5 or 6. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 6 sheep. 6 sheep, 4 deer, and some berries, which you could get to eventually for some food boost. So scarce food situation, but that's why you dock to get started. That's why Lithuanians is a good pick here as well. Lithuanians start with 100 extra food, which means they could also go straight for wood to begin with and get that first dock up earlier. And looks like that's the approach of the Godfather as well. He did get that lumber camp up nice and early with 4 villagers, and now going to drop that first dock. Having Dravidians on the team, Irion in the pocket here, also grants the team 5 population space per dock, which saves you some wood early on. That's why you'll probably see some wood players only drop 1 house. No, not in this case, but at least they won't be housed for quite a while. They're saving that 25 wood for the next house to avoid getting pop capped. So Italians, Dravidians, and Lithuanians for Dov. Let's have a look at TSU here. Happy Andy with the Vikings up against the Dravidians here. Both players very likely to go for the galleys, but I think Dravidians have the edge here as they, with their 200 instant wood once they reach the next stage, will be able to get to fletching very nice and early, which could be more an issue for the Vikings, but the Vikings also have a powerful economy entering the fuel age with instant wheelbarrow and instant handcart in the castle age. So they should be lagging too far behind. They have longboats in the castle age and the imperial age as well as a unique boat, which could be significant here to control the naval situation. We'll see how the game progresses for them. This is Dobbs' home map after all, so they're in it to win it here. In the pocket we have Midu with the Slavs. That's a bit of an off pick for migration if you ask me, but the Slavs obviously mainly picked here to dominate the middle island, I would say. It's a huge middle island. And Slavs with their unique technology detonets in the castle age get the castle building cost reduced a bit from the stone, or the stone cost is partly changed into a wood cost. So it's easier for Slavs to get more castles up to claim the middle and to produce their mighty boyars as a sort of a substitute for a paladin that other civilizations have. Also, infantry for the Slavs could come into play against the Lithuanians' cavalry, for example, because the Imperial Age brings the Druzhina unique technology for the Slavs, which gives Slavs infantry area damage. Let's speed this migration up a little bit, because there's not going to be too much exciting happening in the Dark Age. On these maps, might see them send a ship forward to sort of gauge the distance between the flanks, which in this case is quite close. So you could even make an argument for fire galleys play here, but you can see, as you can see, Dob are going for the galleys, while TSU seem to be aiming for more of a fast castle approach, which means that several of them should be able to claim the middle nice and early as well and get the economy kick started in the middle instead. But now, the triple dock production for both the flanks of Dov, whereas the only player producing galleys for now is Hamidi Andy. And his docks are pretty far away, so he should be able to, if he's patient enough here, he should be able to produce decent chunk of value. Also the Vikings team bonus, also significant here. It is 15% cheaper docks, I believe. There's a dock discount for the Vikings. That's not to be underestimated in this scenario as well. Saves you quite a bit of wood. Makes it easier to get that third dock up early. At least to the same timing as the Dravidians. Production-wise, Happy Andy is more consistent with the numbers here. If he doesn't get too cocky here, he should be able to take some good fights, but now he's fighting without fletching in lower numbers against Irion's Dravidian's galleys here. That Jake now just about to go in for Happy Andy. That's good news. Now he can take a very favorable fight against Irion here. He has a slight hit points advantage. Has more units garrisoned inside of the dock as well. But the horses here, pretty similar numbers. It's going to come down to the micromanagement here. KD situation, actually only 1-0 for Happy Andy. How's the other side doing? We have Slaven here. Hunting the fish of Mr. Fluffy Bunny, who is going for the fire galleys for this one. Desperate to... He does have the business bonus, to be fair, so his fire galleys are firing faster. He's also keeping the fish safe for now, but is needs to get close to Slaven's armies to get value from these fire galleys, so I'm not too sure if that's going to pay off for Mr. Fluffy Bunny here. You'll see the hit and run micro with the galleys. Slaven easily dodging quite a bit of the fire. Keeps consistent production at home as well. But also, Mr. Fluffy Bunny did not lose any fish there. So in a way that's value as well. Now Midu, after taking out these ones, should probably just keep moving into... I said Midu, I meant Slaven. Should probably just keep moving into Midu's side. At least take out the fish. That's not a lot of fish, that's only 4 of them. Midu is going to rely on the slabs boom here. The slabs have faster farmers. So with town centers in the middle, well away from the shoreline, you're going to be looking at a very healthy economy on land. Godfather was also going for the middle here. Did go for the fast castle age approach with the Lithuanians. 13 fishing ships, keeping them alive for now. And Bloodlines and Knights incoming as well. So it's going to be a fight for the middle here. Also, Area 1 is 3, relatively far further, denying that town center of Midu. Nice. Now, Arivion pretty close to clicking to the castle age, but will also need more galleys here to keep up with Happy Andy, who has consistent quadruple docks production now. Godfather even having to invest into some fire galleys to help out against the Happy and these higher numbers now. Looks like Slaven has found the fish, is taking out 9 eco units. Great work there at punishing, so to speak, Mr. Fluffy Bunny. But Irion struggling now against Happy Andy. Yes, he's going to the castle age, but what's castle age going to bring if you're not able to get to the middle when Happy Andy is in full control of things over here? It's also close to clicking, so Happy Andy is just going to be about 1 minute behind Irion with a much stronger navy to keep Irion from expanding to the middle. have a look at the galleys over near Castle Age on the way for Slaven as well. Still very efficiently taking down Mr. Fluffy Bunny's fire galleys over here. So Mr. Fluffy Bunny, yes, is ready to click to the Castle Age here, but has lost one dock now. Will probably need to replenish fire galleys as well to keep these armies away, or at least keep them from sneaking all the way around to take Happy and his fish, which they could have done with that little wave of units earlier, actually. Docks going down for Irion as well. Numbers, admittedly, decent here, but that's 9 galleys against 20 galleys. So even with War Galley and Bodkin, I wouldn't be too sure about taking a fight against Happy the Andy here. Lithuanians fire ships joining in, only 2 of them. No careening, obviously not being a priority there for the Godfather, so they should also be easily taken down by Happy the Andy. This is a good way to force a fight on water as well, to fire at the docks, because it forces the opponent to engage maybe slightly earlier than they would have wanted to. Happy the Andy attempting the hit, and I would say hit and run, but I guess it's hit and float. Still hasn't managed to take out the fire ship. Gets the first one, gets the second one. Going to lose one fishing ship there, but still has the numbers advantage. And the galleys are more maneuverable than the war galleys as well. And with the longboats now producing from 5 docks behind here, Happy the Andy should still be able to take very good fights here. Don't see any there's some redocking from Irion over here. So Irion also trying to keep up, but the longboats numbers should be I think they're even producing more quickly, right? So they fire faster, and they possibly produce faster. Middle now. Lithuanians and Slavs cavalry fighting for the middle. Town center from Slaven to the side here as well. 1 relic for the Slavs, no relics for the Lithuanians just yet. You'll want to collect ideally 4 relics, but anything helps, as it boosts the attack of Lithuanians. Happy the Andy. How much military total now? About 25 ships. That's still significantly ahead of Irion here, who still hasn't made it to the middle. Oh, he just now moved some villagers over, probably realizing that this is about to lose all of his docks. Needs to rush the middle expansion to have any chance at fighting for the middle here. Fire ships from Mr. Fluffy Bunny, once again trying to engage here. Careening is in, so gives some extra pierce armor against the war galleys as well. This time it seems to be working a lot better for Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Chasing away most of the ships here. Careening coming in for Irion as well, but massively outnumbered here. So it's only a matter of time until all of the docks go down for Irion, and the villagers won't be going to the middle anymore. Demos as well. Good demo hit there from Slaven by the looks of it. Another one, another one, another one, another one. Oh! Is that a bad thing issue, or is it just refusing to attack? What's going on? I guess decent demo hit there, takes out two ships. The green ships at work topside, but there's a large seaside fight here. Mr. Fluffy Bunny successfully fighting back, and these are Byzantines as well. If you look at the resource count here, they need they have a 33% discount to the Imperial Age, which means that Mr. Fluffy Bunny can keep this pressure going with the fire ships and go for an earlier Imperial Age as well, which will give him access to fast fire ships And suddenly Slaven doesn't stand a chance, even though the Italians have a slightly cheaper age up as well. It's not quite comparable to the, what should I say, the cheapness of the Byzantines. Demos going to move in front here. They're also going to act as sort of a meat shield in front of the war galleys here. But if you get some good hits in, then that happens. Suddenly Mr. Fluffy Bunny loses large numbers. He's placed a defensive castle at home, maybe wanting to redock with more units here. And now, much back and forth here. Slaven with the Italians winning back some of the, shouldn't say terrain, but some of the waters over here. Lithuanians, knights now with 4 relics. That's a huge attack boost for the Godfather here. 10 plus 5 knights now for the Lithuanians in the middle. But you'd have to think about your building placement on these naval maps. If you're too close to the shoreline, this could happen. Happy Andy, now having taken out most of the docks of Irion, is able to harass the economy and production on land as well with his naval armies. It's not completely taken out Irion's docks over here. And Irion with the defensive castle at the home island as well should be able to redock if need be. Tveirhetsdai comes to mind against the Vikings longboats, which are now pretty decent in numbers, by the way. 25 of them. Happy Andy all the way over here now has taken out essentially all of the fish of Dov. I guess it's good work by Happy Andy and Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Mr. Fluffy Bunny. A little bit of dancing here, splitting the groups up in two, and while the war galleys have the hit points advantage, the longboats fire more quickly, and I think Happy Andy has a slight advantage here overall. They, yeah, Slaven doesn't have careening, which actually hurts in this fight now, because the Happy Andy has more pierce armor and will withstand more shots overall. Left there with 6 longboats. Pretty nice for Happy Dandy. Now with the castle and a couple of town centers in the middle. Third one going up in stone and gold as well. I would expect to see maybe an infantry play for Vikings in the middle here. The Berserkers could also make an argument for Armalists, since you have already invested into body arrow and whatnot for the ships. Mr. Fluffy Bunny also getting some range upgrades here. He's actually going into the crossbows with the Byzantines. When at this stage it almost makes more sense to think about pikemen halberdiers for Mr. Fluffy Bunny here. But of course with that Imperial Age on the way and the naval armies of been cleaned up, at least the wave that just hit. Having Imperial Age Arvalists here could also be really strong for the Byzantines. Fireships for Mr. Fluffy Bunny committing to land armies now, so he's not going for the fast fires. Might not need to, with Happy Dandy still fielding naval armies. Imperial Age for 2 of the players of TSU. Well ahead of the DOV. Large unit masses here to deny the Godfather from sending its starting island economy to the middle. That's almost 60 villagers here, so that's not to be underestimated, the impact of denying the Lithuanians all of that economy from getting to the mainland. Imperial Age halfway for the Lithuanians, but the pikemen, or soon to be... Oh, never mind, we're not going to the Imperial Age yet from Edo, but still a huge mass of pikes here from Edo. Think the Templar 6 Knights will trade well here still. But it's not going to come for free for DOV, and they don't really want to take this fight at this point either, because they want to keep as many of the knights as possible to become cavaliers in the next stage. 3 monks healing for uphill though, that's also making a huge difference in the fight here. Fighting against pikes, that's an easy cleanup. Had those been halberdiers, it would be a different story. And speaking of halberdiers, that's something that Mr. Fluffy Bunny could have brought to the field as well. Chemistry coming in for Happy Andy, still committing to the naval fighting. Doing some damage here and there. 3 Vikings castles, Berserkers been added as well, and full defense upgrades for those. Not that many crossbows range units for DOV to deal with the Berserkers. But then again, Templar 6, soon to be Cavalier for the Lithuanians, would make a difference here as well. Economic situation, not ideal for DOV. Far from being able to afford Paladin here for the Lithuanians. Maybe Cavalier will be seen soon. Also trying to wall off to secure as much of the middle island as possible. So Lithuanians Knights, 1.5 minutes away from becoming Cavalier, but they're diving in to deal with the Trebuchet. Nice and easy, that one goes down. You could even surround this castle with the Lithuanians Knights, perhaps, instead of fighting in between 2 castles here. But I think they're out to take out the Trebuchets, while Irion is panic repairing the Dravidians castle here, trying to get the Trebuchets out. They'll successfully take out that one as well. Berserk. I can only assume that the unique technology for the Berserkers are in as well, the one that gives them bonus damage against cavalry. Unless that's been changed. And the Berserkers, through raiding, they generate a little bit of gold as well. I don't think that's too significant. A cool feature for the Berserkers added not too long ago. Arbalest in for Fluffy Bunny is also producing out of 3 ranges. Far away to this side. Securing the middle position with another castle here now, as the Stabs player is extending the food economy as well to prepare for some Hussar spam in the middle as we go, maybe. Have a look at the resources again. Yeah, still not going to see Paladin for a while yet from the Lithuanians, but we desperately need Halberdier now. We need Stabs in the Imperial Age to upgrade these pikemen to Halberdiers. Either that, or we'll need Mr. Fluffy Bunny to make the cheaper Byzantine Halberdiers as well. But he's lacking all the upgrades, so that might not be the best option currently. Top side, 3 Trebuchets from Happy Andy to contest this one and only castle now. Which would free up a lot of space for the Berserkers to raid as well, and force the Cavaliers to maybe move over to this area. And with the full Imperial Age armies, upgrades for the elite berserkers. Happy Andy is tempted to just dive in next to the castle as well, but he wants the castle gone before engaging, and wants even larger masses of berserkers to start cleaning up the middle there. Only another castle for Dob over here with the Italians, and their stone situation doesn't really allow for more than maybe just one more castle as well. But they have an issue with the Lithuanians Cavaliers out on the field here. There's just so many of them, and the Lithuanians has trebuchets as well. Pushing the Slavs player back. But I'd still argue that they don't really have any response to Happy the Andy's berserker mass. Even the Arbalists aren't doing too great over here. Are they enough though? Massive hit points advantage. And Cavaliers still benefiting from the relic bonus. The castle has been dealt with though. So maybe some cavalry units to raid would be the way to go now. Byzantines get Hussar as well, but I don't think Mr. Fluffy Bunny has the economy set up for that. None of them have the food economy to spam any significant cavalry. It's the Berserkers that's the raiding unit for DSU at this time. Oh, Berserkers trading surprisingly well here actually. Only 7 Cavaliers left for the Godfather. The trebuchets will probably go down as well. Great trades. What's the resource situation here now? Replenishing them should be possible, but just before Paladin. That's a massive cleanup for Happy the Andy before Paladin kicking in here. Only 4 Paladins now for the Lithuanians on the field. Yes, 20 in the queue, but you need to be very patient to get to a proper mass now, and Happy the Andy just pumping out those berserkers like crazy. He's got 4 castles to produce them from now. And now moves in with trebuchets as well. Dob seeing the score switch now, probably getting a bit worried looking at Happy had this massive score here, but that's also partly due to the kills here. 230 kills to 130, so very much on the positive side for Happy the Andy over here. Paladin numbers increasing again, but TSU gaining ground. 18 Arbalists from Mr. Fluffy Bunny over here, and the monastery with the relics. That's what you should be driving down on. I think it's exactly what Happy the Andy is doing. It's Paladins remassing. Trap the monastery! There's even a flag here. The relics are here. I mean, it's important to deal with the castle as well, but it's not as important, is it? It's like 2 Treb fireballs here, and this monastery goes down. Let's see if Mr. Fluffy Bunny will focus the monastery. There we go. Relics are out. Suddenly, the Paladins only have 14+2 attack. And the Berserkers will trade a lot more efficiently against them. Are we seeing a comeback on water galleons for the Italians? Okay. Trying to claim the water back. Could do some proper damage with cannon galleons on the sea. It's not really a priority for TSU, but Happy the Andy is making the longboats again. He still has the war galleys to move around and deal with these galleons perhaps as well. I'm not sure if it's enough to shake up the game situation here for the Are we seeing hand cannoneers here? Hand cannoneers indeed added by the Dravidians. Not a bad addition by any means. It's probably your best option against the Berserkers at this point, but if the Berserkers get close enough, they'll still shred through the units. And look at that production queue, it's 5 castles pumping out those elite Berserkers for Happy the Andy. Arbs getting value from behind, but more and more of the middle control being reclaimed by DSU here. Galleon CS doing some damage from the side, but if anything, Dov needs more army in the middle here. Are we struggling for gold here? The Godfather is now queuing the light cab, doesn't even have the Hussar upgrade. Economic situation under 100 for them. TSU just 20 eco units ahead, but they have twice the military and they are pushing with massive siege weapons. Could also steal the relics of the Lithuanians here. But as long as Lithuanians don't have the relics and don't have paladins, those relics don't matter for much else than gold income. There we have it. The GG is called and TSU getting close to a potential reverse sweep here. Or with the migration, the first home map, is it, of DOV? Happy the end with 235 elite berserks made this game. Let's have a look at the KD stats, which should be pretty awesome for Happy the Andy, especially here. Let's have a look. 404 to 285. Probably generated some gold through those raids as well with all these kills, since it was mainly berserkers for the end game. Midu losing lots of pikes here, but did buy the time needed for Happy the Andy to get to that berserker's death ball and siege weapons. Not enough castles or fortifications in the middle for DOV, and the Lithuanians taking a really bad fight just before the paladin upgrade. Look at that one. 40 cavaliers down just like that. Look at that Vikings economy as well. It's ridiculous. Massive Vikings boom behind that. There we have it. We have a decider on our hands. But let's check the map and sieves first. Migration down, Runestones, last game. So we had the Italians there, we had the Dravidians there, and we had the Lithuanians pocket. So which means we'll see Magyar's pocket for Runestones then. Which means we'll probably see Berber's pocket from Midu's team as the Vikings secure that one with the Slavs and the Byzantines. Mayans, Vietnamese, Berbers, question mark. Could see a Japanese infantry aggression on the side as well. Not impossible. Also good flag civilization, but I expect these three. Whereas for down one Vil, has to be these three. You want Arbalists on flank or Runestones, right? So let's just hop into it. Well, I need to get a little bit of water for my voice before we continue with this one. We have it. Fifth game, decider game on Runestones. And as suspected, expected, I should say, not suspected, expected Midu with the Berber's pocket, which tells me personally that TSU need to win this game, or at least gain a huge advantage earlier in the game because the Berbers don't have access to paladins in the Imperial Age. They do have heavy camels though, and hussars, but they may need to switch into something else to close out the game in the Imperial Age, unless they gain a significant advantage early on. On the right-hand side, we have Happy Daddy with the Mayans. He wants to get those nice and cheap Mayans archers out. And yeah, set back the Malay player with the cheaper archers, making it easier to mass. However, Irion with the Malay has 66% faster uptime and can get to the feudal age at the same population with a healthier economy, or a lower population but much faster feudal age to start producing the archers earlier. So that's the Malay advantage on the side here. Finally, we have Mr. Fluffy Bunny with the Vietnamese in the grey. Vietnamese also revealing the starting position of the opponents. I think he was looking for maybe something to steal here, a boar, some pigs, didn't really find anything, but certainly knows a little something about Dega's base. Vietnamese 20% more hit points on the ranged units, which includes skirmishers, cavalry archers, and crossbows, etc. So Vietnamese with their higher hit points up against Ethiopians with the 20% faster firing archers. So machine gun archers from the Ethiopians. They also have amazing siege weapons. They're the only civilization with access to all of the siege weapons. And also they get 100 food, 100 wood once they reach the next age. So they have a bit of a shortcut to the Men-at-Arms upgrade. If you're in the 1v1 and want to open the Men-at-Arms, that's certainly an option. But in team games, you rarely see that because of the players typically going for like 18 population up, so they already have archers out by the time your Men-at-Arms hit the opponent base. So in this case, Dega is going to go most likely going to go for a double range approach with the Ethiopians, and or possibly single range and blacksmith, and then instant fetching because of the 100 food, 100 gold given reaching the next age. In the pocket, the Godfather playing as Magyars for this one. Great scouts opening for Magyars. The Magyars scouts are 50% cheaper, and they also get the melee upgrades instantly. That applies to both infantry and cavalry units, of course. But in this case, it's going to be the scouts from pocket, and you'll have an easier time taking fights against the opponent's scout, or taking out villagers because you have an attack advantage until they can research forging. And finally, as mentioned, Irion with the Malay here, going for Loom, going for a 20 population here. And TSU haven't actually clicked yet. So Irion is going to have a massive... Okay, he clicks at the same time as Happy Andy, but as you can see, timings are way different still at nearly the same population because of the 66% faster research time of the Malay. Barracks already up for Andy. No mill yet. Most players won't have a mill at this point. Irion can afford it because of the higher villager population picking up, and not losing out on it with the faster feudal age research. No mill for Dega yet either. It's just become the meta these days with barracks before mill, because you can always push in the hunt and bring in the food boost that way. So feudal age in, barracks tiny bit delayed for Irion. Let's have a look at the wood count. It's going to allow for at least one range. That range should be here, yeah. We're just about there for Happy Andy as well. Just now going to gold, which might hurt the early double range production, but he should be able to afford 2 ranges just like that, I think. Unless it's range blacksmith, which is also an option. Just rushing that range up is going to lose the eagle as well. Ooh, not great for the vision of Happy Andy, losing the eagle scout just like that. For now, just one range for Irion, but he has the wood for another one. Probably going to place the second one there, yeah. Small walls for Mr. Fluffy Bunny, going to keep the enemy scout away, and these villagers will go to the berries. to get that food income boosted a bit. Doesn't need to struggle for food just yet though. Gold situation could be an issue for Mr. Fluffy Bunny's archer's production. It's only with one range as well. No range, no blacksmith just yet. Whereas we have the double range and blacksmith for Dega here. Dega in for some serious attacking advantage here with both ranges producing and fletching already on the way. Whereas Mr. Fluffy Bunny, to my eyes, doesn't even have a blacksmith yet. Also gold pointing right towards Dega's base. It's not that far away from the TC, so you could evacuate towards your own town center. But the gold is seriously exposed to range fire as it is right now. Unless he gets a gate and a couple of palisades up here to at least force the Ethiopian archers to move around. Joined by the scouts here as well. Looks like they're going to double up on Mr. Fluffy Bunny over here, aren't they? Deadly combination. Whereas Midu has 4 scouts, we have 5 and counting for the Godfather. So numbers advantage for Dov as well. It is their home map after all. And they're going straight for the gold, aren't they? They see the gold. Yep. Goodbye gold access for Mr. Fluffy Bunny, who needs to move far to the left to find the other golds, which are admittedly quite forward as well. Good walling though to try and force the armies to path right underneath the TC, but not succeeding in time. Woodline taking some hits as well, and with this kind of movement from Dov, they could move further onto Midu's side as well and really set back the Berber's cavalry production as well, while their teammates will fight 1v1 versus the Mayans. Top side, walls in place for Irion, double ranges, just playing it defensively now, knowing that there's a 2vs. It's basically a 2vs1 here now, because Mr. Fluffy Bunny only has 1 range up. Barely has any archers to contest this army. Really playing into Dov's hands this game. So what they should do now is just move on to the Berber's side, because the Berber's player, not fully walled, is going to struggle big time to keep these armies away, because it's a 2vs1 kind of situation. Only 5 archers for Mr. Fluffy Bunny, and he's still at home base, so he can't immediately help, which means that you're left with only the scouts. Granted, a larger number of scouts for Midu, perhaps, at home base here. But still, going to be bad news. Please, scout! See, it's open. Woodline needs to be evacuated immediately. Good reaction from Midu here, but he is still going to have 1 full woodline idle. Going to lose, potentially lose a couple of farmers as well. Boris the Bear wants to join in as well, what it looks with. That's kind of interfering with the micromanagement going on here. That's really annoying, actually. Oh, there we go. That's 1 hero. Hero Bear. Let's see any upgrades on the scouts. Massively better upgrades for the Godfather. He has full feudal age upgrades on the scouts, so this is going to be a good trade for DOB. No matter how you look at it, still some of the archers still alive. Scouts can't really comfortably engage, and the numbers advantage for the Godfather by far now. He could just bring more scouts in or use the scouts elsewhere to make life awkward for Mr. Fluffy Bunny, who got the 2nd range delayed as well. Great aggression for Dov so far, and they're snowballing this match into their hands now. Moving further towards Happy the Andy now, wanting to give proper hit to the mines as well. Are we going to see a tripling now? No, Iron needs to move elsewhere, as Dega's armies are mainly forward, and Happy the Andy is trying to hit the far side flank area. Interesting maneuvers at work here. That could be an overchop. 48 wood left. Okay. "13 scouts and counting. Double stables scouts for the Godfather, and still not necessarily Setback compared to the others here. Mido with the Berbers took a hit there at home base, lost just one builder, but got idle quite a bit. And look at the surround with these scouts here. Archers joining in as well. Massive fight, massive advantage for top. 3 armies working together against the Mayans Archers. So happy the end here. It's going to get cleaned up and we'll have to replenish the numbers before thinking about that Castle Age click, I think. Such a huge army mass. Great team communication here now. I feel like they should. Looks like they want to hit Andy again.
Yes.
Okay. Looks like someone's dropped, so we'll need to pick up the restore. Part 2 coming in. Here we go. Picking up where we left off. Don't trust the statistics anymore. Let's just toggle the resources, which might be more interesting at this point, as we don't have reliable KD statistics for a restore. Army situation 60 for Dove, 40 for TSU. Castle Age on the way for Happy the Andy. And this, I think, is trying to flare the army movement of the respective players here. That's a huge mass of units from Degal moving home now. 24 archers and counting, just moving inside home base to stay safe until the Castle Age and the crossbow upgrade can kick in. Happy the Andy, the only player on the way to the Castle Age for TSU. But he's about to be doubled if the armies can get in here. Doesn't look like there are any immediate openings here, but there are certainly weak spots where you could hit the berries with the archers, for example. Or just keeps the scouts in front, try to pound away at the house, use the archers behind to deny the walling behind. All 3 of Dove on the way to the Castle Age. This is their second home map after all. Home field advantage. Advantage for down 1 bill. Which by no means are down 1 bill at this point. They're pretty comfortably ahead. I'm not sure if this is good or bad timing for Happy Andy. He's going to enter the Castle Age now. He's going to keep the archers at home. And he's going to get Crossbow Bloodkin as soon as possible here. Yep, Castle Age is in, which means that Dove need to pull away. Castle Age also not so far away from the Malay. The resources easily making it affordable to get Crossbow Bodkin here. They're going to try to aim for the pocket instead. Mido still has some scouts, but it's only halfway to the Castle Age. This is the perfect time to go harass the pocket, but looks like Dove wants it otherwise. Not getting joined by the Godfather here, who's just seconds away from Castle Age now. 26 versus 26, similar numbers here. And arguably to Happy Andy's advantage here, as Happy Andy has cheaper archers. It's easier for him to replenish the numbers. Huge cross mass to hit Fluffy Bunny here as well. He's got 1.5 minutes to go to the next stage. Will not be able to keep this Ethiopian's crossbow mass away at all. Is walled though all around the base. So it's still going to take some time for Dove's armies to get in. Lightcap is in, so the Godfather keeps the armies close here. Mr. Fluffy Bunny trying some fancy gating here to keep the armies away, but they are in. And Mr. Fluffy Bunny is going to take some serious damage to the armies forward here now. We might even lose most of the archers before the crossbow upgrade, which is so essential to keep the numbers to get that power spike from the crossbow and bodkin upgrades. Mido joining with the cavalry armies here. That's the stray scouts. Probably going to be upgraded to light cab here. The second defense upgrade not in though for the Berbers. Berbers cavalry is cheaper. 2 stables producing, but the Godfather with the Magyars triple stable production here, and Mr. Fluffy Bunny now down to 38 villagers. Still not getting that crossbow upgrade in just yet, and is still going to fight against faster firing Ethiopian archers as well. If Degas micro is on point as well, this should still be a great fight for Dov. Does chase the armies into a corner here, but Dega chooses to commit against Mr. Fluffy on his crossbow numbers rather than try to focus down cavalry here. And all in all getting, yeah, is it a decent trade? I'm not sure. The military numbers are evening out, but Dov gets the economic advantage still behind all this. They are roughly 20 villagers ahead.
Again?
Shot it. Yeah. She did.
The army mass here, 18 archers for Iron. Probably should be taking that fight, but maybe feels forced to do so. 3 ranges for the red player, but they're only producing out of 2 of them. Happy Daddy now officially inside, but can he do damage in the middle of these 2 town centers here? I guess you could even put up some quick walls here to try and keep the crossbows out. Happy Daddy does not know about this town center, will need to back off. Won't really be doing as much damage as he would have hoped for here. Oh, something happening to the left side here. Breaking into the pocket side of TSU here for Dov. That's a huge mass of military entering here. Berbers cavalry being kept at home. Yes, 18 knights for the Berbers, but even more for the Magyars, and much better upgrades for our Magyars player as well. Dov once again getting an army lead, and they're keeping that village lead as well. They're in fact escalating it by setting TSU's pocket back significantly here. Are we going to see a big fight on the right-hand side here? Numbers comparable, but we could use some cavalry support here, and Midu is raiding the Godfather's side as well. Still, this kind of score lead has to be encouraging at this point. So, cavalry joining in for the Godfather to help clean up these armies. But where's Iron? Is not chasing. Iron is not chasing. What's Iron up to? He needs to follow. Or Godfather needs to pull back. This is not going to be a good trade. Unfortunate there that Iron had a little bit of a lack of attention here. Now Happy Andy can safely claim the hill. He has the best boom of everyone here. Oh, Mangonel shot. Also going to
Yes.
even out the numbers here. They seem to be having some lag struggles here. Since they had to restore as well, maybe the server situation wasn't the best. But Dom pushing Andy now, the strongest player, at least speaking from an economic perspective. Irion with the Malay now going to the Imperial Age. That's going to give him 30, 40, 50 arbalests here, something that Happy Andy can only dream about at this moment. And they're keeping the Berber's pocket incapacitated here. 33 villagers only for the Berber's pocket. No knights on the field.
Hier. Yasak kurtarmadan.
Are we nearing the end there? Dog with 3 times the military. 60, 70 more villagers. Mr. Fluffybun is still at 1 TC, but going Imperial Age. Go for the Imperial Age. Might want to try and get to at least a little chunk of arbalists to shake things up here. But speaking of Imperial Age, we have 2 Obdobs players going up here. Is this Imp into GG perhaps? Once that upgrade kicks in, look at Happy Andy's numbers. He's desperately replenishing out of 6 ranges here. They are much cheaper, the Mayans crossbows. They are 20% cheaper, but it's fighting an uphill battle here, both figuratively and literally here. So Bracer coming in first here. Irion should be able to get Arbalest as well. Yeah, I think he might have. Yeah, he bought food from the market. Another great Mangonel shot from Happy Andy there before the Bracer upgrade kicked in. When you have Bracer for the crossbows, they outrange Mangonels, so Mangonels are less of a threat. Forward castle now for Dega. Could be the nail in the coffin for Mr. Fluffy Bunny as well. Still committed to just 1 town center here. 21 crossbows and counting. Maybe he'll be able to do something, but Dega actually beats him to the Imperial Age by already 5 seconds there, and Dega has a significantly larger mass of crossbows as well. Will now soon enough have trebuchets, and the Imperial Age is indeed the death blow here. The second player reaching the Imperial Age. That is for Dove, or the Art of War, if you will. Pretty strong 1400 players. Is this a... This is a bit of a salty remark from Fluffy Bunny. Nah, I don't think so. You can't argue with the competitiveness of this set. It's a 2-3. And Rude Stones seem to favor Dove more. It's as simple as that. And it was their home map. Strong on the open maps. We can't really trust the stats too much for this one. It's cut off halfway because of the drop. But we could look at the uptimes to the castle and the Imperial Age here. Not too far apart in the castle age, but enough to make a difference and give an advantage to Dob, I guess. And they had 2 players reaching Imp. Mr. Fluffy Bunny still had some time to go, but wouldn't be able to do much with the 25 Vietnamese. Crossbows would barely be able to afford Bracer, let alone Arbalest. GG well fought to TSU, and congratulations on the 2nd place as well. But it is Dob winning the match in the end, which means we should tick off the winning civilizations and the other team civilizations. Show the map, the 2-1, and update the challenge. Division 4. Nice 5-game set to close it out. That was 1-1, 1-1, and then finally the last one for Dob. GG well played to both. Congratulations, especially to the winners.